It's Monday. The day is finally here for RCB fans. If it's all true, I mean, 3 games, you got to beat the best, you have to be the best, and it starts with KKR. And Brian Charles Lara is with us right now. He predicted a CSK KKR final, if I'm not wrong, when the legs started. Let's see if that stands true. But first and foremost, KKR RCB, Brian, which camp would you rather be in?
I think I'd rather be with in KKR's camp. News coming out of the camp is that Andrew Russell may be fully fit. Well, you see what Lucky Ferguson can do on his return. They missed him. They've got a couple good spinners. They have a batting plan, even though that batting plan does not include the captain, Owen Morgan, who don't seem to be able to get a run. But I just feel out of all the teams that they have a particular plan. And maybe that's the leadership of Owen Morgan and Brendan McCullum. But, I don't think that they have necessarily a lot of match winners, especially in their batting lineup. It's pretty young when you look at Shubman Gill and Venkatesh Iyer and Tripathi. They're doing a job, but they're not the Virat Kohlis and the A.B. de Villiers, or you look at Faf du Plessis and Gaikwad. They're not those players, but they seem to be batting towards a plan. So if that plan comes off, I think they're going to win majority of their matches, but it has to come off.
Yeah, I mean, one thing which resonates with Delhi and KKR are their bowling lineups. Now, we talk about Delhi, I mean, in the preview with CSK was brilliant, but KKR, do you think their pacers will be more effective in Sharjah, which is an up and down track, or their spinners like Van Chakravarti and Narayan?
I would think, looking at the surface, that the spinners are the ones that would get the job done, but it's shown that the fast bowlers have gotten a lot more wickets, medium pacers, fast bowlers. And you just go back to that match that KKR played against Rajasthan Royals, and Lucky Ferguson destroyed them. Mavi got a couple of important wickets. So the fast bowlers are doing the job. And as long as they keep attacking the stumps, especially the top of off stump, not strain too much to the leg side, the fast bowlers have proven to be difficult to get away and wicket takers. It seems like if the spinners now, the batsmen are trying to get to the spinners. They're running down the track. They know how difficult it is to time the fast bowlers. So the spinners been struggling. But what does that open? It opens the fact that if you have 2 mystery spinners and you try to overtake, they could fall into line and get some wickets as well.
Yeah, let's speak about RCB then, because having said what you've said about KKR, do you think they'll follow the same template in terms of spin and pace? Do you think they'll bring someone like Jameson back, or they'll stick with what they have with Dan Christian, Garton, Chahal, maybe Maxwell chipping in?
Well, I mean, I think Garton and Dan Christian haven't done much with the ball. I'm surprised that they have not brought anyone in other matches leading up to this, just to see what they have. Jameson was a revelation at the beginning of the tournament. I thought he bowled well in India, but find himself on the outside to Garton, and I don't see the reason to now come and do it. Everybody are professionals. All the players are professionals. So if you ask to come in to play your first game in the finals, you will come in and do your best, because that's what professionals do. So I personally would like to see a change or two in that bowling department, because I feel that they just haven't gotten it right. There's a lot of dependence on Chahal when he comes in to bowl. There's a lot of dependence on Harshal Patel, and I don't understand why batsmen are struggling. His slow ball isn't that well disguised, but of course it's effective. It's slow, it loops, and he gets these players to commit to a shot. So I'm not out in the middle. And if they're committed to the shot, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's very well disguised. But everyone's just spooning the ball up in the air. So a lot of dependency on Harshal Patel, a lot of dependency on Chahal to come in and get some wickets, which I believe the overseas bowlers should be a little bit more potent, should be a little bit more wicket-taking options. But they have stuck with it. And they find themselves in the playoffs. And, let's see where they go.
Yeah, it really makes you think about matchups because that's often reiterated in T20 competitions, especially mammoth clashes like these. You spoke about certain batters and bowlers. Would you see a Shakib against ABD, Narayan against Maxwell? This is just from the top of my head. What do you think is the best matchup here from a KKR RCB point of view, and vice versa?
Well, it's the track. I look at Maxwell batting, and he's very aggressive, and the field, the circumference of the field in Sharjah seems to be a little bit too small for him when he's timing the ball very well. There are matchups, of course. Shakib is a good matchup for most batsmen with the new ball. He doesn't spin it much, and he sort of gets it to going there. I would tend to want to bowl fast to Glenn Maxwell. Reason being, he looks slightly uncomfortable. He looks like if he wants to play a lot more shots than necessary. The spinners, quite good, but if they bowl it in his half or if they bowl it in the slot, he gets it away pretty quickly. So the matchup for me will be Ferguson to Maxwell. The matchup for me would be Shakib Al Hassan if he plays to a Virat Kohli up front, just sort of left arm angling the ball into the right hander. That'd be a good matchup for me. In terms of KKR's batting, early wickets is very, very important. Those two openers, they are young, but they've been doing the business for KKR for the last few matches. And if exposed, if Tripathi has to come out very early with his aggressive style and sort of narrow way of thinking, and maybe that's the instructions that he's getting, I think he can become undone. So a good matchup for the two openers would be, definitely Siraj. I don't think Harshal Patel gonna get a guy like Shubman Gill, but he may get a guy like Venkatesh Iyer out. But getting Harshal Patel bowling in those middle overs and in the latter overs, he's a wicket taker. He's the leading wicket taker. He's most likely gonna go past Dwayne Bravo as the most wickets in the season. So it's lining up bowlers for maybe not just batsmen, but certain periods when you know that the opposition's got to make a move. You got to have the right bowlers at the right time.
Yeah, and of course, with RCB's horrible record in the power play with the ball in hand, they have to strike in the middle overs. Often is where they strike. Chahal maybe is a go-to bowler, but let's see how that really pans out. Before we get into the predictions, a very important question being thrown across to you by many fans, especially from the Bangalore side. Who will the Royal Challengers Bangalore retain in that mega auction in December? Is it the blatant obvious, or am I missing something, Brian? Tell me. Tell me.
Well, I think they got to make some tough decisions. Of course, Maxwell has come in and listening to what their coaches had to say about him, he pretty much delivered what was expected of him. Virat Kohli is a franchise winner anywhere he goes. So that is going to be, it's fait accompli. Nothing's going to happen. Virat Kohli is going to be retained in that position. Who else will I go for? You have to go for people that actually you feel if you put them on the market, you can get those back. I would go with Glenn Maxwell as a second choice, as someone who I will retain. And it's only three players, right? Three players, I think, is
perhaps
what,
you can write the match too, but we're still murky about that. Two write the match, maybe.
Yeah. So Virat Kohli and Glenn Maxwell for me, and also maybe a player like Padikkal.
No AB de Villiers?
Why would you want to retain AB de Villiers when he's not scoring runs and he's not getting any younger?
But form is temporary, class is permanent, they say.
All right, we'll pick him 5 years from now again then. No problem. His form is temporary. It's gonna come a time when you've been sorted out in the IPL. You're playing 6 weeks of cricket for the entire year, and if you think that he's going to be ready every time the IPL comes around and perform, do it. But we've seen the situation with Chris Gayle at 42, and he plays in leagues after leagues, and he plays cricket all year round, and still he struggles. This game called T20, it's not an easy game. The best league in the world, the IPL, you're going to have a lot of players found wanting. Nokia and Rabada and Avish Khan and Deepak Chahar, they are not, they are not going to take it easy on anybody who is, waning in their ability to play the game.
Okay. Let's see how it really peters out, because RCB could write to match AB or Siraj or Chahal for that matter of fact, but we love the chat right now and just gets us in the match day mood, so to speak. Speaking of which, predictions first. And Brian, unfortunately, the robot has picked all RCB players and RCB to win. I mean, and I have nothing to do with this. I promise you, I've not rigged the machine. You're giving me a thumbs up. Let's start with batsmen.
Easy facets for me then.
Okay, super. So let's see who you go for your batsman, because it's gone for the king, Virat Kohli, who's due a big innings, you would say, or do you think you would go for one of the KKR boys?
I will go with a KKR batsman. I believe that a guy like Nitish Rana loves the Sharjah pitch. It's slow, it's low. He sort of, that sort of surface is right up his alley. If it's going to be quick and bouncy, I'm not sure he's the sort of batsman that he will be when he goes into bat in Sharjah. So if there's any loss of early wickets, I think Nitish Rana is going to be a man that they will have to contend with RCB.
Okay, interesting one, Nitish Rana, and you might laugh at Brian's predictions, but be careful, guys, because he went for Bharat the last time, and everyone had egg in their face apart from Brian. Let's move on to the bowlers, and yet another RCB pick here, Harshal Patel, who is, of course, in the race for the all-time wicket taking in a particular season of an IPL. Do you think you'd go for someone like him, or would you go for Lockie Ferguson, who you're a big fan of?
Yeah, I mean, Harshal Patel is a very good pick. I mean, but I'd leave critics to deal with Harshal Patel, and I'd leave the KKR batsmen to deal with him as well. So I'm gonna go with Lockie Ferguson. Pace on, ball keeping low, rushing the batsman. Any sort of cross-batted shots, they're going to be in trouble with a guy like Lockie Ferguson.
Okay, I don't know what it is with Brian, but he simply doesn't like RCB in this one. But he's gone for 2 KKR, but he's just going against the machine to get the win. We know how Brian is just a winner through and through, really. Win and prediction then, KKR is not, according to Cricket, going to win this game. It's RCB 56%. You think differently, I'm sure.
Yeah, I just feel that, looking at the RCB, they gained a lot of confidence from that last ball victory against the Delhi Capitals. But on quite a few occasions in that match, they were in and out of it, back in it, out of it, and they looked lost with a ball to go. Against the Delhi team that, obviously they wanted to win as well, but they could have had the luxury of not winning. And, Virat Kohli is someone that you got to worry about. Is he, going to get form? He's just struggling a little bit in the last few matches that he's played. And you know how much he sets up the innings. And Sharjah is not an easy place to bat. And so I suspect that it's going to be, one of those 145, 150 score. And, I think KKR is the team that I believe that's going to come out on top.
As much as I dislike that prediction, I completely agree with you and a bunch of other people who are KKR fans. Don't get me wrong, because it's going to be a cracking clash. Remember, this is the oldest rivalry in the toughest T20, because they played the first game ever right here in Bangalore. And that was great to see from a KKR perspective. But hopefully, it's a great thing to see from a RCB perspective on Monday. And like I said, if you got to beat the best RCB, you got to beat them all. So let's see how that really pans out. Let's see if Brian beats the machine. We'll catch him post-match. Thank you so much, Brian. I know you have to rush off for the television broadcaster, so I'll let you be. It's a goodbye from me, Abhi Shagde. And of course, a very dapper Brian Charles Lara.
Take care.